Okay, so it's time for us to get back into our coverage over the Immortal Hulk. Now, in today's video, we're going to cover the last two issues of Volume 2. So, issue number 9 and issue number 10. Now, this is a two-part story arc where we begin to learn a whole lot more about the Green Door. And I do know I have been saying that a lot in all these videos, but we do get more information about the Green Door, but also we get the chance to see the Hulk fight against the Absorbing Man. Now, this is really important because it's the Absorbing Man getting an upgrade, but also it's a callback to the good old days where you would see the Hulk fighting against his character so many times over the years in Marvel Comics. Now, I should let you know that when it comes to this story, the first half of issue number 9, it does go back and forth from the past into the present day. But halfway through issue number 9, everything comes together in a nice big bow. And so we do pick up 1 month ago where we see that apparently Iron Man was able to defeat the Absorbing Man, which means that Homeboy is going to jail. But then we jump over to the present day. Now, when we do, we pick up with Bruce Banner trying to steal some clothes. Because remember, in the daytime, that's his time to be himself. But at night is when it's the Hulk's turn, especially when Bruce is killed off in the night. That releases the Hulk out of his body. But when it comes to Bruce and the Hulk, they're heading towards what they call home. Now, we did not learn what home means in our last video, but in this video, we're going to learn the actual meaning of that word. Now, when it comes to Bruce Banner, he is shot and killed by the guy he tried to steal clothes from. But of course, it's now nighttime. So with Bruce being dead, that means the Hulk can come out to play. But getting back to the past once again, matter of fact, 1 month ago, we do pick up right after he was captured by Iron Man. Now, with this page right here, we do see two guys, two security guards who are trying their best to interrogate him, to get information out of him by actually beating him up. Now, we also learn that, well, he was with his lover at the time, Titania. Now, Titania does not play a role in this big storyline right here, but she was captured alongside with him. But either way, he does remain quiet. But getting back over to the present day, we do pick up with a character known as Bushwhacker. Now, we had actually talked about this character back in our coverage over Acts of Vengeance. Now, remember, when it comes to Bushwhacker, he was given a cybernetic arm to use in battle. Now, over the years in Marvel Comics, he kind of been like a mercenary, but he fought against different kinds of characters. The Punisher, Daredevil, I want to say Spider-Man as well, but I do know he fought against Wolverine as well. But for Bushwhacker, he's now working for the Hulk operations. Now remember, the Hulk operation is a secret government operation that's trying to capture the Hulk. Now technically, they're off the books, so that means all their activities are technically labeled as illegal. But right now, we see Bushwhacker interviewing the guy who saw the Hulk, the same guy who shot Bruce Banner earlier for stealing his clothes. But he said he saw the Hulk and the Hulk left in that direction. Now for Bushwhacker, he is able to actually follow the trail, the gamma trail that the Hulk left behind. But to make sure there's no witnesses around, you have Bushwhacker kill off the guy who saw the Hulk earlier. But now we have to jump back 2 weeks in the past. Now, when we do, we pick up with the Absorbing Man still in prison. Now, we see him talking to his lawyer right now at the moment, but for his lawyer, you do have the Absorbing Man find out that Titania is having a good time because we do learn that after they were captured by Iron Man, she was able to make a deal with Roxxon. So she was able to leave prison by working for Roxxon. Now, for the Absorbing Man, he's telling his lawyer, like, hey, make sure she's not there at my trial. I want to make sure that her life is not being messed up by me, even though she's madly in love with me. Either way, you didn't have his lawyer say, listen, I have a deal for you, a possible deal that can get you out of prison very quickly. You see, I was contacted by a guy known as Bushwhacker, and apparently he needs your help. Now, getting back over to the present day, we do pick up with the Hulk, and we do learn where he is going to. He's heading to Los Diablos. Now, this is very important because this is where the Gamma Bomb went off at, and of course, gave birth to the Hulk. Now, technically, we have learned that for Bruce Banner, the persona of the Hulk, the anger of the Hulk, was always inside his body, but that gamma radiation was able to take that kind of feeling and turn it into an actual figure in his mind, a different form of his body. But either way, it's the Hulk saying, "This was where I took my first breath. This is my home." So when we jump back over to the Absorbing Man in the past, only now 11 days ago, we see that when it came to Bushwhacker, he was working for, well, of course, the Hulk Operation Group, like I said earlier. And so you have Bushwhacker being able to be that middleman to bring the Absorbing Man over to the side of the Hulk operations. And they tell the Absorbing Man, like, listen, we know that you have fought against the Hulk countless times over the years. We also know that you have lost a lot of battles to him over the years. And so, with that being said, we feel like we can help each other out. We can make you stronger, and by making you stronger, you should be able to capture the Hulk for us. But getting back over to the present day, once again, we pick up with Bruce Banner. Now, for Bruce Banner, we see him arriving to his home, but we do get a call back to the first story arc where he fought against Sasquatch. Now, in that story arc, he had to absorb all the gamma radiation that was inside the body of Sasquatch to turn him back into normal to Walter. But here's the thing, we have learned in that video that when it came to Sasquatch, he was being possessed by some kind of being that's not from Earth. And so for the Hulk, he realized that being right now is inside of him, but also has taken the face of Brian Banner, the father of Bruce Banner. And let's not forget, for Bruce, he hated his father. His father was very abusive in so many ways. But for the Hulk, the reason why he came here to his home is to absorb all the gamma radiation that is left in that area, hoping to be strong enough to get rid of that thing inside of him. But getting back to the past once again, we pick up with the Absorbing Man, and we see him talking to different members of the Hulk Operation Group. Now, they want to give him the Hulk plug-in serum. Now, the Hulk plug-in serum has been around for a good while in Marvel Comics. I want to say like the early 2000s. Now, when it comes to the Hulk plug-in, what it does is that it gives you the ability to turn into a Hulk. Now, originally, it was just a serum. When it came to AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics, they were able to turn into some kind of technology-based idea where you had this wristband on that for 36 hours, you can turn into a Hulk and have Hulk-like abilities. But right now, it's a serum again. And they want to give it to the Absorbing Man to make him even stronger. Strong enough to possibly take down the Hulk. Now, getting back over to the Hulk in the present day, we see the Hulk realize that he has been played because that demonic being inside of him that he had absorbed that was inside the body of Sasquatch was playing with his mind. It put the thought in his mind of saying like, hey, if I go back home and absorb all that gamma radiation, I should be strong enough to get rid of this being once and for all. But in reality, if the Hulk is absorbed all that radiation in that area, then most likely that being will be able to get rid of the Hulk. Now, for the last flashback of this video, we jump back over to the past where we see that after being given the Hulk plug-in serum, you now have the Absorbing Man more powerful than he was originally. Like, for example, he now has the ability to absorb gamma radiation. And so they give him a small mouse that has been affected by gamma radiation. And so you have the Absorbing Man now being able to absorb that radiation out of that mouse and really killing it off in a second there. But now he is ready to fight against the Hulk. And so we go back to the present day and we see the Absorbing Man trying to fight against the Hulk. Now, like I said, they have fought against each other so many times over the years. And in those years, you always have the Hulk being the winner. Well, this time, the Hulk is not going to win. And the reason why, because every single time the Hulk goes to punch the absorbing man, he is able to absorb pieces and pieces of the gamma radiation inside the Hulk. And of course, it makes the Hulk weaker and weaker as the battle goes on. And so for the Hulk, he has no idea what to do here. Now, here comes the big moment of this chapter right here alone, because when it comes to the absorbing man, after he was able to absorb enough energy, enough gamma radiation of the Hulk, something had happened to him. He had changed. And so then, as we get into the ending of this chapter alone, we see the absorbing man right now in hell. He's kind of like, where in the heck am I? And you have this creature, this being, come to him and say, oh, you're in hell. And matter of fact, because of your battle against the Hulk, and because you were able to absorb so much gamma radiation, I was able to take over your body. So your soul right now is down here in hell, but up there, your body is still fighting against the Hulk. It's just you're not the one using your body. It's me right now at the moment using your body. And so we then jump back over to, well, the surface, and we see that is technically true. That creature right now has taken over the body of the absorbing man, and it looks horrific. But now this creature is wanting to fight against the Hulk. So round 2 in the next chapter. But as we get into the second chapter of this video, we do pick up with Alpha Flight. Now remember, Alpha Flight was the Canadian superhero team the early days of Marvel Comics. But when it came to the 2010s, they were no longer that Canadian team. Instead, they were now a space team that was being led by Captain Marvel. Now Sasquatch, he is part of that team, but he was assigned to hopefully find Bruce Banner. And so with the battle between the Hulk and the absorbing man, they were able to locate Bruce Banner. But the problem is their sensors are picking up 2 Hulks, Bruce Banner and of course the absorbing man. But now we are able to transition back over to the Hulk. Now when we do, we see the Hulk fighting against the absorbing man, but let's not forget, this is not the absorbing man. His body is right now being used by an unknown powerful being. But either way, while you have those 2 characters fighting against each other, well, they're being watched by Bushwhacker, who's working for the Hulk operations. Now, for Bushwhacker, he's waiting for confirmation to take the shot that could most likely take out the Hulk. But he's being told right now, do not take the shot. Let the absorbing man fight against the Hulk. Now, for Hulk operations and Bushwhacker, they have no idea that technically the absorbing man is no longer there, that his body is right now being used by some kind of demonic being. But either way, the battle continues on. Now, you do have Alpha Flight arrive. When they do arrive at the battle, you have the Hulk still fighting against, well, the absorbing man. Now, for Alpha Flight, they kind of have to figure out what in the world is going on. Now, you do have Alpha Flight tell the Hulk that they are there. But while talking to the Hulk, you did have Bushwhacker being able to shoot one of the eyes of the Hulk. Now, for the Hulk, he believes it was actually Alpha Flight who shot him. And so he does get somewhat upset and tries to take out Alpha Flight. Now, you do have Alpha Flight trying their best to defend themselves against the Hulk, but this is the Immortal Hulk. But while you have the Hulk attacking them, the absorbing man is just running away. And the reason why, because that being that took over his body has a game plan. It has to go to ground zero of the gamma bomb that Bruce had used that gave birth to the Hulk. And here's the reason why: the green door. You see, the green door, when that bomb went off, it was only partially open. But if this crazy powerful being that's using the body of the absorbing man is able to absorb all the radiation, the gamma radiation in that area, then he should be able to open up the door completely. But here comes the problem, because For the Hulk, he's trying his best to explain things to the different members of Alpha Flight. But the problem is, by the time he finished telling them what's going on, it's too late. Everything changes around them. And it seems like our heroes, all of them, have now been teleported over to hell. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. We have now wrapped up Volume 2, and now it's time for us to go into Volume 3 of this crazy run of the Immortal Hulk. With that being said, guys, see y'all next time. Later.